Oh, they don't, and they know they don't. Nintendo doesn't need its consoles at all. It could switch into just software development and they would still be utterly wealthy. They have some of the best designers and best designed teams in the industry, old and new. Yes, Nintendo could just start making games for the PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, and they would be the best first-party software development team out there. But, and it's a big but, they're not going to do that, and that's not just because they want to make money off of consoles. It's because Nintendo has a symbiotic relationship with the rest of the gaming industry. Nintendo's business model is all about innovation and experimentation. They don't try to push the boundaries of tech, they try to repurpose old tech for new experiences. This is why Nintendo is always at the forefront of new types of technology. Think about rumble and vibration. Nintendo was the first to popularize that with the Rumble Pack. The N64 was the first to popularize the analog stick. Yes, it existed before in arcades and in some other more obscure systems, but it was the N64 analog stick that made people take notice. Motion controls, Nintendo made it popular, for better or worse. And yeah, sometimes this experimental philosophy makes them big flops like the Virtual Boy, but sometimes it makes them big successes like the Wii. Sony and Microsoft are beholden to massive companies. They don't primarily make video games. Sony is a tech company that makes all different sorts of tech, from monitors to PC parts to TVs to other home electronics. And Microsoft is Microsoft. I mean, they own Windows and they're one of the titans of the PC market. This means that their video game divisions are only offshoots of their business. They can't take as many risks. They have to be able to succeed more often to please the investors that are much higher above them. Nintendo only does games. This allows them to take a lot more risks. In fact, the people who invest in Nintendo want them to take risks. I said in the video before that they have enough money to fail for several generations, and that gives them a buffer space to be able to experiment in the video game tech space. And when they come up with something that's a big hit, usually Sony and Microsoft and other tech developers then refine it down the line. Just look at what Sony's DualShock did for analog sticks compared to the N64 analog stick. And here's a dirty little inside industry secret. You might think that this is Nintendo's attempt to compete with the big boys and prove that they're better. It's not. Sony and Microsoft, they love that Nintendo does this. Nintendo loves that Sony and Microsoft don't directly compete. As I said before, it's a symbiotic relationship. Nintendo gets to shoulder the risk that other companies don't want to shoulder. That means that every so often Nintendo has a hit console that blows the other consoles out of the water. But that usually means that a couple years down the line, Sony and Microsoft will take one of Nintendo's ideas and refine it, and then they'll blow Nintendo out of the water. This is a cycle that just repeats and benefits everybody.